shiver. Baby, you burn so hot, you make me shiver with a fire. You got this thing started, I don't want it to stop. You know you make me shiver. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. When they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back. Oh no, say, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. When they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back. Yeah.
Only the best.
I didn't ask for a free ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up, you showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me, harder like misery. It's coming down on me. I'm ready, rain on me. Drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be drop, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain.
Rain on me.
Living in a world where no one's innocent. Oh, but at least we try. Gotta live my truth, not keep it bottled in. So I don't lose my mind. Baby, yeah, I can feel it on my skin. It's coming down on me. Teardrops on my face, harder like misery. Let it wash away my sins. It's coming down on me. Let it wash away. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain.
Rain on me. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me, tsunami. Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me. Rain on me. Rain on me.
Only the best.
Have it all, rip our memories off the wall. All the special things I bought, they mean nothing to me anymore. But to you, they were everything we were. They meant more than every word. Now I know just what you love me for. Take all the money you want from me. Hope you become what you want to be. Show me how little you care, how little you care, how little you care. You dream of glitter and gold. My heart's already been sold. Show you how little I care, how little I care, how little I care. My diamonds leave with you. You're never gonna hear my heart break. Never gonna move in dark ways. Baby, you're so cruel. My diamonds leave with you. Material never fooled me. When you're not here, I can't breathe. Think I always knew. My diamonds leave with you. Shake it off, shake the fear of feeling lost. Always me that pays the cost. I should never trust so easily. You lied to me, lied to me, then left with my heart round your chest. Take all the money you want from me. Hope you become what you want to be. Show me how little you care, how little you care, how little you care. You dream of glitter and gold. My heart's already been sold. Show you how little I care, how little I care, how little I care. And my diamonds leave with you. You're never gonna hear my heart break. Never gonna move in dark ways. Baby, you're so cruel. My diamonds leave with you. Material never fool me. When you're not here, I can't breathe. Think I always knew. My diamonds leave with you. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, always knew. My diamonds leave with you. Ooh, oh, always knew. You're never gonna hear my heart break. Never gonna move in dark ways. Baby, you're so cruel. My diamonds leave with you. Material love won't fool me. When you're not here, I can't breathe. Think I always do. My diamonds leave with you. You're never gonna hear my heart break. Never gonna move in dark ways. Baby, you're so cruel. My diamonds leave with you. Material love won't fool me. When you're not here, I can't breathe. Think I always knew. My diamonds leave with you. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, always knew. My diamonds leave with you. Ooh, oh, ooh, always knew. My diamonds leave with you.
Only the best.
You've been running around, throwing that dirt all on my name. Cause you knew that I'd call you up. You've been going around every party in LA. Cause you knew that I'd be at one. Oh, I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking about when you were mine. Oh, and now I'm all up on you. What you expect? But you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you. You've been running around, throwing that dirt all on my name. Cause you knew that I'd call you up. Baby, now that we're right here standing face to face. You already know that you won. Oh, I know that dress is karma, you regret. Yeah, you got me thinking about when you were mine. Now I'm all up on you. What you expect? Oh, baby, but you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Baby, you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? What are you doing? I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking about when you were mine. And now I'm all up on you. What you expect? But you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. You don't want my You and I go hard at each other like we're going to war. You and I go rough, we keep throwing things and slamming the doors. You and I get so damn dysfunctional, we start keeping score. You and I get sick, yeah, I know that we can't do this no more. Yeah. But baby, there you go again, making me love you. Yeah, I stopped using my head, let it all go. Got you stuck on my body like a tattoo. And now I'm feeling stupid, falling back to you. So I cross my heart and I hope to die that I'll only stay with you one more night. And I know I said it a million times, but I'll only stay with you one more night. Try to tell you no, but my body keeps on telling you yes. Try to tell you stop, but your lipstick got me so out of breath. I'll be waking up in the morning, probably hating myself. And I'll be waking up feeling satisfied but guilty as hell. Yeah. But baby, there you go again, making me love you, Yeah, I stopped using my head, let it all go. Got you stuck on my body like a tattoo, yeah. And now I'm feeling stupid, falling back to you. So I cross my heart and I hope to die that I'll only stay with you one more night. And I know I said it a million times, but I'll only stay with you one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night. Baby, there you go again, making me love you. Yeah, I'll stop using my head, let it all go. Got you stuck on my body like a tattoo. And I know I said it a million times, but I'll only stay with you one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more. So I cross my heart and I hope to die that I'll only stay with you one more night. And I know I said it a million times, but I'll only stay with you one more night. I don't know, whatever.
Only the best.
Sleezing and teasing, I'm sitting on him. All of my diamonds are dripping on him. I met him at the bar, it was 12 or something. I ordered 2 more wines, cause tonight I want him. A little context if you care to listen. I find myself in a shit position. The man that I love sat me down last night and he told me that it's over, done decision. And I don't wanna feel how my heart is ripping. In fact, I don't wanna feel, so I stick to sipping. And I'm out on the town with a simple mission. In my little black dress and the shit is sitting. Just a heartbroken bitch, high heel, 6-inch in the back of the nightclub, sipping champagne. I don't trust any of these bitches I'm with. In the back of the taxi, sniffing cocaine. Drunk calls, drunk texts, drunk tears, drunk sex. I was looking for a man who was on the same page. Back to the intro, back to the bar, to the Bentley, to the hotel, to my old way. Cause I don't wanna feel how I did last night. I don't wanna feel how I did last night. Doctor, anything please. Doctor, have mercy on me. Take this pain away. You're asking me my symptoms, doctor. I don't wanna feel. Toke this joint, how I'm blowing this steam. Back to my ways like 2019. No, 24 hours since my ex did dead. I got a new man on me, it's about to get sweaty. Last night really was the cherry on the cake. Been some dark days lately and I'm finding it crippling. Excuse my state, I'm as high as your hopes that you'll make it it to my bed, get me hot and sizzling. If I take a step back to see the glass half full, at least it's the Prada 2-piece that I'm tripping in. And I'm already acting like a dick, know what I mean? So you might as well stick it. Just a heartbroken bitch, high heels, 6 inch in the back of the nightclub, sipping champagne. I don't trust any of these bitches I'm with in the back of the taxi, sniffing cocaine. Drunk calls, drunk texts, drunk tears, drunk sex. I was looking for a man who's on the same page. Back to the intro, back to the bar, to the Bentley, to the hotel, to my old way. 'Cause I don't wanna feel how I did last night. I don't wanna feel how I did last night. Anything, please. Have mercy on me and take this pain away. Just give me my symptoms, doctor. I don't wanna feel.
Cause I don't wanna feel like I felt last night. I don't wanna feel like I felt last night. Yeah, peace with the things you can't change. I was naked when I leave, and I was naked when I came. Out of reach, out of touch, too numb, I don't feel no way. So stuck, so what? Street small, but it go both ways. So, you're wrong, yeah, you never escape. Sunset in the
Just give me my symptoms, doctor. I don't wanna feel. I don't wanna feel how I did last night. I don't wanna feel how I did last night. Oh, doctor, anything, please, doctor, have mercy on me. Just give me my symptoms, doctor. I don't wanna feel.
lipsticks, much like mother.
All right. Good morning, Internet. What's up, VicTube?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Welcome to the morning show. It's good to be back. Out of town the last couple of days for Colby's bachelor party. We'll talk some about that this morning. And that's it for me. I'm not going anywhere else until football season is over. So I'm in this room. And in this room shall I remain from now until January 20th. You have my word on that, Vic. Well, hold on. No, yeah. You have my word on it. I actually am going out of town one more time, but it's my Lou Jr. has a soccer tournament, but it's a Saturday and Sunday deal in 2 weeks, August 15th, a week and a half. Not this weekend, but next weekend. But other than that, in this room. But point is, no more off days for LouTube is what I'm getting at here. Until January 20th. Vic, you have my word on that.
Okay.
You have my word on that. But yeah, good morning. Welcome to the show. It's good to be back. Call-in show tonight at 9. So, of course, a lot of college football stuff to talk about. Michigan and all that. The coaches poll came out. Is that right, Vic?
Did it?
Yeah, AP poll comes out
So
next week, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, the coaches poll went ahead and came out. So you didn't know that, Vic?
No.
All right, so that's good then. So don't look it up. If that's what you're doing, stop. Don't look it up. And let me just ask you this. How many SEC teams are in the top 10 of the coaches poll, which is free, which keep in mind is made by coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Not Kirk Herbstreit. How many SEC teams are in the top 10 of the coaches poll?
I don't know, like 4.
I think it's 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Now,
Yeah,
how many?
probably.
Now, how many Big Ten teams?
Probably like, I don't know, like 3,
I think it's 4.
4. Okay.
How many Big 12 teams?
Um, guessing
What you're thinking is
0.
right. Yes, 0. How many ACC teams?
1.
1. Now that equals 9.
Mm-hmm.
4 SEC, 4 Big 10, 1 ACC, 0 Big 12. That only equals 9 though. So there's one more team in the top 10.
I guess that would be Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame. Yeah, it's Notre Dame. It is Notre Dame. It is Notre Dame there. I haven't, like I said, I've been out of town. I didn't get home yesterday till about 4, and I haven't really done anything football wise, but what little I did do, this is just my opinion. People that have been paying better attention, you can correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to this coaches poll. Vic, what team is the maddest? What fan base is the maddest about the disrespect that they're receiving in the coaches poll?
Tennessee.
Tennessee fans are irate, Vic. I mean, they're big mad about it. Now, I have mixed feelings on it, Vic. Let me put the poll up for you. I think they make, well, let's put the poll up. They have a point to an extent here. So let me show you what they got here on that and this, everything like that. I know this is hard for you to see, probably, Vic, on your end. I don't know if can I make this any bigger for everybody.
Yeah, I can see
A
it.
little bit bigger here. So
Yeah,
so here's the top
zoom
10,
in.
like we said. So like the SEC, Georgia, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
So 4 of the top 6 are SEC. Also 4 of the top 10. For the Big 10, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, and Penn State. And then you've got Florida State at 10, Notre Dame at 7. So you got Tennessee down here at 15. Now,
Wow.
Tennessee has had, let's just be real, they've had one good year in the last 15. It was 2 years ago. Last year they were an 8-4 team. I mean, they were an 8-4 team last year. And if you look here, they're clumped in this ranking here. They're clumped in with a bunch of 8-4 teams. Utah, I believe, was 8-4. Clemson was 8-4. So now I would have Tennessee ahead of Clemson, but not miles ahead. Like, they're in the right grouping here. This is what, when I talk about rankings and people being mad about, it's more about, it's more to me, like they've got Georgia at 1, okay? I wouldn't care if they had Georgia at 1, 2, or 3. If they had Georgia in a tier below that, that would be dumb. That would just be stupid. It wouldn't make any sense. I wouldn't get on here and yell and scream if they had Georgia at 3rd. All right, you see what I'm saying? It's more about the grouping that they're in than it is the specific ranking to me. So do I think Tennessee would beat Clemson tomorrow? Probably. Do I think they're better? Yeah. Am I going to have Tennessee ahead of Clemson? Yeah. Probably Utah too. But I think they're in the right grouping. Now, none of those teams should be behind LSU. That's the one I don't LSU at 12. I mean, what are we doing? What are these coaches doing? I don't know. But I don't have a huge problem with where anybody is ranked in the top 15. So from Georgia all the way down to Tennessee. I could nitpick and say, maybe I'd have Ole Miss ahead of Bama. I'm just making something up, not even saying I would, or maybe I would have Tennessee ahead of Clemson, or I'd have whatever, Missouri ahead of Florida State. I'm just making shit up here. Ohio State ahead of Georgia, but you're talking about just 1 or 2 places there. Like, I don't see anybody in this top 15 that's like 5 spots wrong. What do you think about this top 15? Then we'll look at the
Yeah, I
bottom.
think-
Then we'll look at
yeah,
the
I
bottom
think
half.
it-
But
Yeah, I think it looks pretty reasonable. Yeah, I would move some teams around, but there's nothing crazy.
Right.
So
and this is the good thing about these polls as opposed to someone's individual ranking. When you do a poll, which you know what the difference is between a poll and a ranking.
right. Yeah, poll is they like ask a bunch of people
Yeah.
to submit their ballot, which has all of their top 25 in order, and then they take all of those and they add all of those up. So,
Right. A ranking is one person's ranking. A poll is an average of a bunch of people's ranking. So when you do a poll, which averages out a bunch of people's ranking, it gets rid of the potato rankings. Like some idiot might have had Florida State at 2. Like one of the 100 coaches or whatever, but because so it gets rid of a lot of that. Now, what do you think about the first place votes here? So Georgia has 46 first place votes. Ohio State had 7.
okay.
Oregon at 3rd had 0. Texas at 4 had 1. And then Michigan had 1.
Okay.
Now, here's what I'm thinking here. So clearly the overwhelming majority of the coaches think Georgia should be the number 1 team heading into the offseason. Ohio State with 7 is a significant number. Michigan, I don't see any rationale for that. But there is like this subset of people, and I've always disagreed with these people, but there is a group of people who think if you won the Natty last year, I used to hear this as a Georgia fan, because I wouldn't put, Georgia would win a Natty and then I wouldn't have them number 1. And people would say, well, until somebody beats them, they should stay number 1. I get that maybe during the season, but not in the preseason. The fact Michigan won the Natty last year, that in and of itself is no reason to rank Michigan number 1. But clearly at least one coach out there agrees with that group of people who says that, well, Michigan won it all last year, so until somebody beats them, because there's no other reason to have Michigan number 1. I mean, they're going to be without half their coaching staff again this year. Now, it didn't matter last year, but like they're getting ready to have all kinds of suspensions. It's a big mess, whatever's going on there. A brand new offense, a more difficult schedule. I don't see any explanation for going. I think Michigan should be number 1. They're the best team in the country, other than, well, they won it last year. Like that's literally the only logic you could use to rank Michigan 1. And apparently at least one coach agrees with that group of people. But what do you think about the first place votes there? I'm not surprised Georgia and Ohio State are the top 2 in terms of first place vote. I mean, pretty much everybody has either Georgia or Ohio State number 1 in whatever ranking they're doing. So it doesn't surprise me that Georgia and Ohio State are the teams with the 2 most number 1 rankings.
Okay, yeah. How did Texas get a first place vote? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand Michigan, sort of, yeah, but I don't understand Texas. I mean, that's just crazy.
When you see a team with 1 first place vote, do you just automatically go, well, that's Sarkisian and Sharon Moore?
Yeah. Did Sark vote Texas number 1?
It's easy to think that, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. But you see a team with 1 first place vote, that is kind of where your mind goes. Oh, well, their own coach must have voted them number 1 type of thing. I don't know if they did or not, because the coaches don't make their ranking public, I don't believe. Now a lot of the AP people do. In other words, the AP ranking will come out whenever it comes out, and then like the next day you can look up like the people that actually vote on the AP ranking or whatever. They'll release their individual ranking. You can go, oh, that's the idiot that had. Remember a couple of years ago at I don't know if you remember this or not, but I don't know if it wasn't this year, but I don't know if it was last year or the year before. SEC media days. So all these conferences have these media days, and the media that is specific to that conference, like the media that covers the SEC, they vote and they put out, this is the SEC media predicts Georgia to finish first and Bama to finish second, whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was either last year or the year before. One of the SEC media members had picked Vandy to win the SEC. And you're just like, what in the fuck? Like,
You gotta be trolling.
got to be trolling, or you made a mistake, or whatever. But I think you should be required to make your vote public. I guess it really doesn't matter as far as the AP and the coaches go, since they technically have no bearing on what happens in the postseason. But what about the playoff committee ranking, Vic? Do you think they should be? I think they should be forced. I think every individual on the playoff committee, I think it should be part of their deal that each of them has to release publicly their top 25. I would be in favor of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Especially since they are athletic directors. Like, so they're like, I know you got some people out there that think like ESPN only cares about the SEC and everything they do is in the interest of the SEC and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you think that. But I know for a fact that everything the athletic director for some school does is definitely with that particular school in mind. Like, that's literally their job. So I would be, and that's what mostly makes up the playoff committee is mostly athletic directors. I think there's 10 of them out of the 13. So I think it should be required that every week that the playoff committee puts out a ranking, an hour later, it should be made public how each individual on that committee voted for that week. But I don't know that it matters for the AP and the coaches. But anyway, top 15, I don't have any huge issues. Tennessee fans, like I said, I haven't spent a lot of time on football in the last couple of days because we've been out of town for Colby's bachelor party. But what little time I have spent perusing Twitter or whatever else, comment section, Tennessee fans seem to be the most upset about where they're ranked here. And, of course, Florida State fans are trying to figure out how they can blame the coaches poll on ESPN. And, why is Florida State 10? Have you heard about their big plans for the Georgia Tech game?
Oh, the game that's in Ireland?
Yeah, have you heard about Florida State fans' big plans for that?
Oh, they have big plans? No,
Yeah.
I haven't heard.
Let me show you this, because this is retarded to a level never before seen. So this guy says, FSU fans, and then he says, by the way, non-FSU fans will be ignored. Yes, I will check your profile, your likes, and your posts. Question. A certain I think he means podcast, certain podcast suggested that when FSU fans show up to Ireland, perhaps they would be doing more damage than good to the FSU brand if they were to give Kirk Herbstreit a hard time for the College Football Playoff Committee snub. As someone who is going with an interest in representing well the FSU fandom, what do you say? 75%, let them have it. 25%, the snub is history. Now, this is the correct answer. It's over.
Yes.
That's the correct answer. The snub is history. It's over. But and this is why FSU as a team this year is not going to get where they want to go.
Yep.
Because there is too much going on at Florida State in relationship to last year and not enough going on. And they can say, well, this is just the fans. It's an indication of what's going on. And then on top of that, you look at the lawsuits. You know, they can talk to their blue in the face about 20 players quitting and not playing in the Orange Bowl. But, okay, 60 people on that team did play in the Orange Bowl. You know, and they can't get over it. And now look at what he says here now. This is we are not going to publicly share our plans. But if you are going and you want to be part of the plan, be sure to register here and we will share our plans in private. So they are planning some big, you know, we were mistreated rally in fucking Ireland. Now, here's what I'm guessing is going to happen. You're going to have about a dozen of these dumbasses that show up on the college game day set in Ireland with a sign that says, you know, Kirk Herbstreit's feet stink, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Some kind of anti-Kirk. They can't get over to Kirk. I mean, the guy's post specifically mentions Kirk Herbstreit. I mean, it blows my fucking mind that they are 8-9 months later, they're upset that a college football personality whose job it is to give opinions on TV gave an opinion on TV that they disagreed with, and 9 months later, they can't fucking let it go. How in the world, there is no way that the NC State athletic director was sitting around going, I'm going to vote Florida State for. And then he saw Kirk Herbstreit on TV say, I don't think Florida State's one of the best 4 teams. And so the athletic director at NC State changed his mind. That didn't happen. But even if it did, what is Florida State's fans' solution to this perceived problem? Do they think, I don't know if it was last week on the call-in show, a Florida State fan called in and told me straight up, these people should not be allowed to have opinions. He straight up told me that. They shouldn't be allowed to express their opinion about the playoff. How do you shut that off? How do you turn that off? Even if ESPN has a TV channel specifically told every single college football analyst that they have, which is hundreds, okay, from now on, y'all aren't allowed to mention the word playoff. You're not allowed to talk about who you think should be in the playoffs. You're not allowed to talk about who you think will be in the playoffs. You're not allowed to talk about anything related to the playoffs because the athletic director at Michigan might be influenced by what you say. Even if they did that, what about the 500 people that work for Fox Sports? What about the 500,000 YouTube channels? What about Kirk Herbstreit on Twitter? Can ESPN tell Kirk Herbstreit he can't say that on Twitter? Like, where does it end? The idea that Florida State fans with a straight face think there is something wrong with a man whose job it is to talk college football and give college football opinions, that there is somehow something wrong with him then giving a college football opinion, is insanity. Insanity. SEC fans have been yelling at Kirk Herbstreit for a decade about being an Ohio State Big Ten homer. Florida State fans are yelling at Kirk Herbstreit for being an SEC homer. Ohio State fans are yelling at Kirk Herbstreit because they say he hates Ohio State. Kirk Herbstreit is doing it right. Every group hates him because every group thinks he hates them. That tells you he's doing it right. Vic, who do you think the highest paid college football mouthpiece on the planet is?
This is probably Kirk Herbstreit.
It's got to be Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
Because he's the absolute best at what first of all, calling games, he's the absolute best. Period. They can't even argue that. Now, you can go back in time and compare him to Keith Jackson or whatever the fuck if you want to do that. But like right now, Kirk Herbstreit is college football, period. Now, if Kirk Herbstreit would have came out a week before the playoffs were announced with a toy drum and started beating on it, telling everybody Florida State better be in the playoffs. They deserve it. They're good. They're undefeated. They're one of the best four. They're really good. Blah, blah, blah. Not a single Florida State fan would have a problem right now.
No.
So it's just like these people that tell you they want you to keep politics out of sports. No, they want you to keep politics they don't agree with out of sports. Florida State fans don't want Kirk Herbstreit not to have an opinion. They don't want Kirk Herbstreit to have an opinion they don't agree with. And it's bullshit. And they can't get over it. And here they are, they're running polls on Twitter 8 months later about how mean should we be to Kirk Herbstreit in Ireland. And we're not televising or we're not announcing our plans. It's a secret fucking... Is there a Florida State fan watching? Can one of y'all please somebody sign up for this dog shit here? Can somebody do that? And tell me what is the plan? What is it? Some kind of new Trail of Tears from Ireland to Tallahassee? What are we planning here? Who is this? Who is this guy, Rohan Law? Some kind of community organizer? Who is this guy? I didn't even waste no time on this. I just said these battered wives can't move on. They can't. These battered wives can't move on. God almighty. You should see the comments. They're insane. Giving them a hard time is fair game. They started the rhetoric that Florida State should be left out way before the Jordan Travis injury. The conspiracy theorist in me says there was collusion between ESPN and the SEC for Saban's retirement. Christ.
Was that it? So like they wanted Saban to go out on top. I guess what they mean. They knew he was retiring, but they wanted him to go out on top.
First, yeah, but you know who knew he was retiring? You know who knew Saban was retiring the day the playoffs were announced? Nobody.
No one.
Not even Saban. I mean, anyway, I don't know. He's fucking dumbass. Fucking perpetual victims. Perpetual fucking victims.
All right. Yeah, Chase says that he's an FSU fan, and he says they're going to bring Kirk Herbstreit clown posters to Ireland.
Oh my God. First people to ever do anything like that. Imagine traveling halfway around the world to make a fool of yourself. Imagine traveling halfway around the world to let people know you can't get over something that happened 8 months ago, 9 months ago by the time that game is played. We're talking about the first week of December of last year. The playoffs were now. This is just, it's just absolute insanity. It's absolute insanity. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's ironic that the the clown college is calling Kirk Herbstreit a clown.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Is Florida State going to become the most rooted against team this year?
They
Or
might
or,
be.
or do most people not care what they're doing, how they've acted, all that? Am I for some reason more bothered about that than I should be? Or is the average college football idiot like me sitting around going, these Florida State people, I hope they go 0-100. They're probably going to be. I think there's a lot of people who want to see them lose.
8-4. Yeah, I have them going 8-4. So
I think them in Michigan. I think them in Michigan. I think there's going to be a lot of people watching football every Saturday. And number one, they're going to want their team to win that day. And then number two, they're going to want Michigan and Florida State to lose.
oh yeah, yep.
I got suspended from a job I quit a year ago. What? NCAA is stupid as fuck. Pay Lou, welcome back, bud. Oh, you're talking about the Michigan stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about how Harbaugh got a show cause award.
Here's the bottom line to me. There were some Michigan fans that when this was going on last year were normal human beings and said, oh shit. Yeah, we were cheating and we got caught red-handed. Do something about it. And they, that I can respect that. And I said that last year. But then you got the other group of Michigan fans. That's not Connor Stallions on the sideline. We didn't do anything. Jim Harbaugh didn't know. Sharon Moore didn't know. It was just this one idiot, and then had nothing. And those people look like fools. Those people look like fools. Now, I'm going to start in reverse here and say that Michigan was the best team last year. And they went 15-0 and they won the national championship. And no team in the country was better than Michigan. But if we don't figure out a way to handle these situations better, then I don't see what's preventing every single team in the country from doing any and everything, regardless of rules, to try to win a game right now. Now, I mean, what is the barrier to cheating? Michigan was caught, and I made a big deal about this when it happened last year because I've never seen it before, but Michigan was caught cheating in real time. Not an allegation of something that happened 2 years ago and everyone's gone and you got to track them down and interview them and investigate and blah, blah, blah. Michigan was caught in 2023 during the season cheating in 2023. If we can't come up with a way to punish that, then I don't know what the barrier to cheating is. I said last year, Michigan, I mean, look, I'll say it again because like Mike is in here and there's a lot of, I like a lot of Michigan fans and it's nothing personal to them. Michigan never should have been allowed into last year's postseason, period. Not because they weren't the best team. Yeah, they were the best team. Did they cheat against Ohio State? No. Did they cheat against Bama? No. Did they cheat in 50 games leading up to that, which helped them get to that point? Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes. And I'm not suddenly more confident about that today because the NCAA came out last week and went, guess what? That was Connor Stallions on Central Michigan side. We knew it was Connor Stallions the minute we fucking seen it. And I said at the time, that's the only bit of evidence. If that's all you knew, if you didn't even know why he was there, you know, if we didn't know anything about the signs recording deal and him buying tickets and sitting at the 50-yard line, if we didn't know any of that, and then one Monday morning we turn on Sports Center and they go, this Michigan coach is on the sideline of Central Michigan in disguise with video recording glasses. If that's the only thing we knew, that's 100% proof that Michigan was doing something they shouldn't have been doing. If that's the only thing we knew. There is no legitimate reason for that. But that's not all we knew. We knew before we knew that Connor Stallions had been buying tickets and sitting people at the 50-yard line and recording other people's signs, which is against the rules. It doesn't matter that you don't think it should be against the rules or that everyone steals signs. Yes, everyone steals signs by watching film or trying to pick it up during the game. There's a specific rule that bars you from doing what Michigan was doing. This idea that we can just break any rule we want if we don't think the rule makes any sense is crazy. Kentucky had to vacate a year and a half's worth of wins for handing out 9 mob jobs. They're basically paying people to work that weren't working. And what the NCAA goes back and does now is almost irrelevant to me because we'll use Kentucky as an example. Nobody knew Kentucky was doing that in real time, did they? No, they didn't. But let me ask you this, Vic. Let's go back to, was it 2014? Todd Gurley gets caught in the back seat of a car signing 4 jerseys. Remember that?
Yeah.
Was he suspended 2 years later? Was there a 1-year investigation and then the details were released after Todd Gurley was in the NFL?
No.
No, he was suspended immediately. Now they're going to say, well, so was Harbaugh. Yeah, so was Harbaugh. But not Sharon Moore. Not the coordinators who were being fed information from Connor Stallions. The idea that nothing happened in real time is crazy. And I don't know what the barrier is to cheating now. I don't. It is, there's a reason you don't ever catch this stuff. And I don't recall another instance of cheating caught in real time. All the shit at Tennessee. We found out about that a year after the fact with the money in the Chick-fil-A bags or the McDonald's bags or whatever it was. You don't ever catch this stuff in real time. And the biggest problem people have always had, well, there's 2 big problems that people have had with the NCAA and their investigations. Number 1 has been the length of time it takes to do them. And that problem leads to the second problem, which is by the time you get ready to punish, everybody that was involved in the activity that was against the rules is gone. They're not there. So who do you punish? Michigan was caught in real time. And the only people that did anything at all about it, which, shout out to the Big Ten, by the way, as a conference. I don't know that the SEC would do that, Vic. I don't know that the SEC would do that. The Big Ten took their best team in the middle of the season and said, your coach is out. 3 games. 2 of them are your toughest games of the year. That would be like Kirby getting suspended for the Texas and Bama game. You know?
Yeah, I know.
So shout out to the Big Ten. They at least did something. And I don't know what the Big Ten, the only thing I know of that the Big Ten could have done over and above that would have been to rule Michigan ineligible for the Big Ten title game. And maybe they should have. Because the playoff committee got off scot-free because, here's another thing I'd love to ask the Florida State conspiracy man. If the entire existence of the college football playoff is set up to benefit the SEC, why didn't they just come out and say right away that we're not putting Michigan in the postseason? They cheated. They got caught cheating in real time this season. Their own conference suspended their head coach for cheating. We're not putting Michigan in the playoff. Why didn't they do that?
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be in ESPN's interest to not put Michigan into the playoff?
Right, it would be according to FSU, man.
Yeah. So why didn't they do that? But the only thing the Big Ten could have done above and beyond what they did do, I think, would have been to rule that Michigan was going to be ineligible for the Big Ten title game, which they 100% could have done. They could have done it any number of ways. They could have just come out and said it. They could have changed the rules halfway through the season of who's eligible for the Big Ten title game. We've seen them do that before to benefit Ohio State.
Yes, they did. They said you had to play in like 6 games, but Ohio State only played in 5, so they changed the rules to let Ohio State play in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah, Slim's got a point. Another point I made during the season, if you're going to cheat, make it count. And Michigan did that. Miami, too, back in the day.
Yep.
These teams like Tennessee and Kentucky are cheating and winning 7 and 8 games.
Yeah. Yeah, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah. Another good example.
Yeah, cheated. Yeah, they even got those 2 wins over Alabama and didn't do shit with it. So
Yeah. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. And by the way, I'm on video in 2014 in support of the Todd Gurley suspension, much to the dismay of the UGA man. I am not hypocritical when it comes to these kinds of things. So if Georgia were to get caught cheating, I would be saying this exact same things. I made multiple videos about Todd Gurley back in 2014, and I kept saying it doesn't matter whether we like the rule, whether we think the rule should exist. None of that matters. All that matters is it a rule? Did Todd Gurley know it was a rule, and did he do it anyway?
yes.
And if he did, you gotta. I mean, then you gotta get suspended. I mean, that's the whole point of having rules. I mean. This thing where you come out now, well, everybody does, sign stealing's not fair, and they're going to have headsets in the helmets now anyway. That doesn't matter. None of that existed last year, the year before, the 3 years that Michigan was doing the sign stealing deal. Like they broke the rule, period. It's I don't know.
Right, it's just like it was against the rules in 2014, the selling autographs, but today that would be fine.
Right. Yeah, that's irrelevant. I've made the analogy before. If I'm riding down a road and the speed limit is 45 miles an hour and I'm doing 60 and I get pulled over and I get ticketed and I paid a fine, and then 2 years later they raised the speed limit on that road from 45 to 65, I can't go to the courthouse and demand a refund. Because I broke the rule at the time as it existed. It doesn't matter that the speed changed later. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts on all that. The Michigan thing and that. Just, it's disappointing because there were multiple parties, multiple agents, whatever you want to call it, multiple institutions that could have done something last year in real time. The Big Ten could have done something to keep Michigan out of the postseason. The NCAA could have done something to keep Michigan out of the postseason. The College Football Playoff Committee could have done something to keep Michigan, and none of them did anything. That's the bad part. You know, everybody passed the buck off on somebody else. You know, the playoff committee said, well, and unless the Big Ten or the NCAA rules them ineligible for the postseason, then we're going to vote on them just like we normally would. You know, and the Big Ten said, well, if the College Football Playoff Committee is not going to rule them ineligible for the postseason, we're not going to do anything to them. And the NCAA said, well, we'll let you know something in 2 years. It was just, you know, you catch it in real time. Do something. I mean, it was just so obvious. And then you wait a year and a report comes. It took the NCAA a year to confirm that was Connor Stalions on the side. We knew that was Connor Stalions on the side. Everybody knew. It was like the most popular Halloween costume last year was the fucking Connor Stalions disguise costume. Like, everybody knew it. Took the NCAA a year to confirm that? And they still don't know how. Because guess who else might need to be in a whole bunch of fucking trouble here? McEldump. Jim McElwain needs to answer some questions here. He worked with Connor Stalions in the past. He knew Connor Stalions. If Connor Stalions walked by him in Walmart, he would say, "Hey, Connor, you're telling me Connor Stalions is on the sideline for an entire fucking game with a rubber nose and some eyeglasses, and Jim McElwain had no fucking clue?"
Well, that's what he said. He said, I have no idea who that guy was.
I mean, it's just crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know. Paylou was a winner last week. Now, due to circumstances, well, I guess they technically weren't beyond my control, but they became beyond my control at the time. So for this week, I was informed Tuesday afternoon. So the gambling week starts on Monday. I was informed Tuesday afternoon that I did indeed place a bet on Monday. Which I had no idea that I did that. And I'll just leave that at that. But somehow I did win the bet. So I was up. But after yesterday, I'm back to even. I couldn't pick a winner yesterday. I was on the Reds. They got blown out. I had the Yankees and the Braves on a parlay. The Yankees won. The Braves didn't. I also had an under that went over. So I was 0 for 4 yesterday, so I'm back to even. I think I think I might be $10 in the hole.
Mm. Yeah, you bet on the Braves.
Well, Chris Sale or whatever his name is was pitching, and I thought they would win. Yeah, I thought they'd win. I mean, they've been playing good lately.
Okay.
But no, they didn't win. I don't even know what I bet on Monday. I have no idea, but I know I won the bet. So, yeah, I had to be reminded. Basically, on Tuesday, we're standing around in the casino, and Pete or somebody goes, "What games are we going to bet on today?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about it. I got to pull the phone out." I said, I didn't bet none yesterday. And I think it was Pete, He goes, "Well, yeah, you did." He goes, "We stood right over there for like 45 minutes and looked at all the games and all that, and you made a bet." I pulled the app up on my phone, and sure enough, Pete was right. I did make a bet, and I won. So, yeah. Betting on the Braves is crazy. Yeah, what are they, 20 games above 500? Yeah, that's nuts, betting on the Braves.
Yeah.
Second place in the division. That's crazy. Who would bet on them?
Yeah.
Oh, the White Sox finally won a game. They had lost like 24 in a row or something. God damn. It'd be hard to lose that many in a row on purpose. And then they lost again yesterday. So they lost 24 or 25 in a row, whatever it was, and they won a game. And then they lost again yesterday. So the losing streak starts over again yesterday. So I'm back to betting on. I had bet against the White Sox at one point, like 9 days in a row, won every single time. Luckily, I did not bet on the or I had bet against the White Sox. I mean, like 9 days in a row during that streak, won every single time. Luckily, I quit that this week while I was out of town, and that's when they went ahead and won their game. So,
Yes.
but my God, I mean, to lose that many games in a row, I mean, I seriously don't know if you could, like, if that was your goal, it would be hard. Like, hey, let's see if we can lose 25. Like that would be hard to do on purpose. Especially in major league sports. You know, you see something like that happening in college even, or below that, where talent pools and resources can be miles and 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 miles apart. But in professional sports, like, to lose that many games in a row is alarming. Lost starting running back for the season. Well, that is a rumor. What he did have to have minor knee surgery. He had it scoped, so it wasn't a torn ACL deal or anything like that. And he's listed as week to week. Now, some people come back from that in about a month or a month and a half. Some people come back in 3 months. It'll be the way I understand it is that there's no risk of further injury. It's like a pain tolerance thing, I guess. So I don't know if he's going to play or not. I don't know. But that's terrible news because they already lost ETN to Georgia. And they pretended that didn't matter because they had Montrell Johnson. So if he somehow can't play, whether it's for one game or all 12, that's very bad news. Very bad news. My guess is that he's going to miss the first couple of games. That would be my guess. Which, again, the first couple of games are some of the only ones they have a chance of winning. So it's just terrible. It's just nothing good about it. I don't want to see anybody get injured anyway. But, once you state that, okay, yeah, we don't want to see anybody get injured. Okay. But then you have to discuss the reality, which is, okay, this guy's injured. What does that mean for the team? It's never good for anybody to get injured. It's even worse for a starter to get injured. In Florida's case, it's like just complete disaster scenario because ETN was one of the best players on their team. He transfers to your rival, Georgia. You got to run around for 6 months pretending it doesn't matter because you have Montrell Johnson. So if you lose him, that's not good. How deep is it? I think it's probably 6 guys playing almost every game. Probably see 6 running backs playing every game, be my guess.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Yeah.
ETN, Robinson boys, Cash Jones, Nate Frazier. I mean, it's always hard to tell. Look, this time of year, buyer beware. But this time of year, when you first put the pads on, you start to hear a lot of stories about true freshmen. People are just enamored by the new shiny object sometimes, okay? And so doesn't always, sometimes things you hear manifest themselves in the season. Sometimes they don't. I remember back in COVID, people, Brock Bowers, it's just kid Brock Bowers. And nobody knew who the fuck he was because he was recruited during COVID and nobody knew who the hell he was. And then he ends up starting game 1 in 2021 or whatever it was against Clemson. So I'm hearing a lot about that running back, Nate Frazier, that true freshman, Nate Frazier. So take that for what it's worth,
Right.
And
Freshmen don't usually start at running back at Georgia. So.
Well, that's not even. Of course, he's not starting. We're talking about will he play? Of course, he's not starting, but he could play if what people are saying is true. Because here's the thing: a lot of these people that get to show up and watch 10 or 15 minutes of these practices, they're not recruiting gurus. So they see Nate Frazier do something they've never seen him before. Oh wow, look at that! They don't know who he is. So it's like, oh wow. But do I think Bowers is the greatest UGA tight end? Oh, of course,
obviously,
he's probably the best. He's top 5. Just college history. I mean, I don't think anybody can name 5 tight ends in college that were better than Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I can't name any college tight end better than Brock Bowers. So.
I mean, there's been some good ones, and I don't want to get into arguing whether Brock Bowers in 2022 was better than some tight end in 1972, like Mike Ditka, or I mean, none of that. But I mean, but he was really good, really good. Wait a minute. Yeah, probably a no on that. Whoever said Kellen Winslow, that's going to be a no. He's not a Brock Bowers. He's not on that level. He had 9 touchdowns total in his entire college career, and just over 1,000 yards. He had 1,300. His college career, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. He was really good. Really good. But I don't think he's better than Brock Bowers. Hernandez was deadly. Oh, God.
Yep, literally.
Unfortunately, as Georgia fans, we're no longer allowed to make fun of 2006 to 2008 Florida. Those days are over for us because we're the current version of that. So we're the new that. In other words, in 2035, people will be talking about this Georgia team, this era of Georgia football, the same way we currently talk about that era of Florida football from 06 to 08. It's just what it is. We have to accept that as Georgia fans. I mean, we've been dishing it out to Florida for 15 years about what went on down there from 06 to 08. And we're going to have to sit and take it for the next 15 years about what went on from 2022 to 2024. And we just have to hope that it ends now. That's the best, the best we can hope for as Georgia fans is that the problem ends now. Yeah, call-in show tonight at 9. So.
Right, but do Florida fans really care, though? I think all the Florida fans care about is that they won 2 natties.
Well, I don't know whether they care or not, but it's pretty obvious that Georgia fans care because whenever I tell them that we're currently that version of Florida, they get really mad. So they obviously do care. But reality hasn't set in for a lot of UGA fans yet. They don't think that's a lot of Georgia fans. That's different. That's not the same. It doesn't matter. The perception is reality. And what is the perception of Georgia's football program right now? The perception is a bunch of criminals a bunch of people arrested, 2 dead people, and a coach that either doesn't care or can't do anything to stop it. That's the perception. Doesn't matter what I think the reality is or anyone else. The perception is reality. And the more time that goes by, the more the perception is reality. Like, that's how Georgia, any conversation, in other words, 15 years from now, any conversation about Georgia in the early 2020s is going to include 2 dead people and 30 arrests. It just is. And then they'll say, and they also won 2 natties. That's just what's going to happen. So to your question about do Georgia fans care, depends on the individual Georgia fan. But a lot of them big care because they get mad when you tell them that.
I mean, yeah, I care, but yeah, I don't get mad when you tell me that because I admit that it's true.
Yeah,
So,
I care. I don't like it. I wish Kurt, I've said it a million. I don't know. I'm almost done talking about it because I've been crystal clear. Something more has to be done than what is currently being done. That's none of this. Well, the kids are responsible for their actions. Yes, and Kirby is responsible for the program. And right now, the program's got a problem.
yeah,
So
it's
he's got to do more.
Kirby's- Yeah,
It's not that he's not trying. I haven't said he's not trying. I know he's trying. But if a coach tries to win and fails, what happens to him?
he gets
He
fired.
gets fired. You don't sit around and go, oh, you can't fire him. He's trying to win. Every coach is. You don't think Billy Napier's trying to win? The only coach I know of that's not trying to win is Dabo Swinney. Every other coach is trying to win. Trying. Look, Georgia football ain't your 4-year-old where you pat him on the head, but when he's learning to tie his shoes. Oh, he's trying. Give him time. He's trying. It's not that. Trying is irrelevant. What more do you want him to do? He's trying. I want him to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Well, since
Yeah,
you're so
yeah.
smart, what do you think he needs to do? I don't make $13 million to run the program. If I did, it would be my responsibility to fix it. It's not my responsibility to fix it. I'm just an idiot fan. It's not my responsibility to fix it or to make suggestions on how to fix it. I don't make $13 million a year to run that program. I'm not the state's highest paid employee. I don't have a contract that says I'm responsible for the actions of all my players and every staff member and everything underneath me. I don't have that. I don't have any of that. Kirby does.
Yes,
So,
Kirby is
figure it out.
responsible.
What are you going to do? NIL money, kids and fast cars. It's not happening anywhere else. So don't give me that. Okay? Half Texas team has NIL deals with Austin Lamborghini. Where's all those stories? They're probably not there because they're not doing it. So fix it. That's it. It's a problem. Fix it. Because and people say, well, we get fire Kirby. No, no. That's the point. I don't want to fire Kirby. That's why I want him to fix the problem, because I'm telling you right now, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you read a headline that says Georgia players involved in racing, wreck, 2 people killed, Kirby would be out of a job the next day. That'd be it. He's hit his quota for dead people. There's no more allowed. There's no more allowed. So, the last 18 months, 26 arrests, 2 dead bodies. If in the next 18 months there's another 26 arrests and another 2 dead bodies, then he'll be out of a job. I don't want that. I want Kirby to be the coach today, tomorrow, 10 years from now.
Yeah, me too.
So he's got to fix this problem. Okay? And don't tell me, well, winning cures everything. Why is Urban Meyer sitting in a TV booth then? Okay? Because it doesn't fix everything. Kirby's not responsible for what other people do. These are the same people that wanted Urban Meyer fired because of something his assistant coach did. So shut up. You sound stupid.
Yes, Kirby is, whether you like it or not, Kirby's responsible for everything that happens underneath him. Period.
Yep.
End of
that's
story.
Right. That's
As
why
far
it
as
makes
individual responsibility goes, that will happen on an individual basis, whether it be criminal or whatever. All these players that were arrested, they were held responsible criminally by the court system. Okay? But the Georgia football program ain't going to court. There's no court for that. So who's holding the Georgia program? You know, Kirby's responsible for that. So, you know, Urban Meyer's assistant coach allegedly slapped his wife around, and y'all wanted Urban Meyer fired. Me, by y'all, I mean me, everybody. Oh, you got to fire him. Assistant coach slapped somebody, and Urban didn't handle it right. He's responsible. Okay, well, but somehow Kirby's not. But somehow Kirby has nothing to do with anything that happens under him. Nothing. Kirby has nothing to do. These are the same Georgia fans that wanted Urban Meyer ran out of Columbus, Ohio on the first thing smoking because his assistant coach slapped somebody and Urban Meyer didn't handle it correctly. That's what happened. That's why he's not coaching Ohio State. Because there was an allegation that Zach Smith slapped his wife. Urban Meyer knew about it. This is all allegedly. And Urban Meyer didn't handle it correctly. That's what happened. That's why Urban Meyer's not the coach at Ohio State. Not because he was losing, because he wasn't losing. So, guy's got a 90% winning percentage. So that was Urban Meyer's fault. But nothing that happens in the Georgia football program is Kirby's responsibility except the wins. That's all Kirby. Every win, that's all Kirby. Anything else, nothing to do with Kirby. Okay. All right. No, but I've had Zach on the show a bunch of times.
If you give
look,
Kirby
I love
credit,
Kirby, and I don't hold Kirby directly responsible for what any one player does. And look, other than the wreck, this is off the top of my head, so if I'm missing something, correct me. Other than the wreck and Ra Thomas, you're talking about some of the most low-level offenses that you could possibly be ticketed for.
Yeah, and the David Daniel Sisova fleeing, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not judging the players generally. It's not that. I don't think that Smile Munden is a bad person because he got a ticket for racing. Should he be racing? No. Should you run a stop sign? No. Have you done it? Yeah. You probably have. Shouldn't speed. Have you done it? Yeah, you probably have. So I'm not judging these players as bad people. It's got nothing to do with any one player or arrest individually or specifically. My entire point and my entire issue is a top-down problem. It's the overall number of problems. It's not any individual one problem outside of, obviously, the wreck was horrible. That's just worst case scenario. You're talking about 2 young people lost their lives. It's horrible. I'm not minimalizing that at all. The Ra Thomas allegations, horrible. Not minimizing that at all. Those 2 things stand out as separate and beyond anything else that happened in my mind. Okay. The other 24 arrests, pretty low-level stuff. I don't think anybody involved in any of those other things is some kind of career criminal, bad person, should be thrown underneath the jail. None of that. I'm not judging any of that. Any of us individually could have made any of those same mistakes. But when it comes to Kirby, all of those things are his responsibility. All of them. And he's just not. Part of the problem is it's a public relations problem, is what it is. Okay, it's a public. Kirby's got this attitude where we're going to do what we do, and I'm not telling you shit about it. And that's his attitude when it comes to injuries. That's his attitude when it comes to who's starting. That's his attitude when it comes to quarterback situations. He hates the media. He's not going to tell them anything. And he's treating this situation like all of those. And it makes it look as though he's not taking it seriously. Now, I do think he's taking it seriously, and I think he has tried a lot of things. But is it working? No, it's not. The whole, we're going to fine you through the NIL. Great. But they've been doing that for over a year. Is it working? No. We're going to bring people in to talk to the team. Okay, good idea. But is it working? No. No. Well, so whatever they're doing is not working. So they got to do that and more. You can't keep doing the same thing, expect a different result, blah, blah, blah. Again, with these analogies, but if 50 times during the course of a season, Georgia faced a 3rd and 1, and all 50 times we ran the same play, and all 50 times we did not pick up the first down, is that because we weren't trying?
No.
No. But if that happened, you would want the play caller fired, or, hey, can we try something different next time? Right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Well, let's try something different here, Kirby, because it's not working, and it's a perception problem. It's a public relations problem. It's a recruiting problem. I mean, these kids are being negative. Recruiting is real. Like, schools and coaches and teams will use anything to try to convince a recruit, don't go there, come here. And so you don't think they're talking to these parents about these problems at Georgia? You're out of your mind. Now, that's something that can never be proven one way or the other in terms of what, if any, impact it might have. If there's a player we want and Clemson wants them and they end up going to Clemson, we'll never know that it's because 25 people had been arrested at Georgia. But I can guarantee you during the recruiting process, somebody at Clemson has mentioned that to that kid's parents. Why wouldn't you? Of course you would. So I think Kirby needs to do a better job in talking about the situation, because it makes it look like he's just brushing it to the side or handling it internally. Well, next question. Now, you're probably going to have to take a little bit more time, explain to people, convince people that you are taking it seriously, that you are doing A, B, C, and now you're going to add D, E, F, G, and H to try to get it under control. Like, I don't know. But the excuses that some Georgia fans make, well, it's because of NIL. Oh, okay. Like, you can't, so you're telling me you can't race in a Honda Accord. Okay. Gotcha. Good. And Georgia's the only school in the country that has kids with NIL and fast cars. Okay. 10-4. Georgia fans making those excuses are almost as stupid as Florida State fans blaming ESPN and Kirk Herbstreit for the playoff deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, Vic, we got to get out of here. I got work to do today. Lou Jr.'s got soccer practice tonight. I got shit to do.
Yep.
Survived Colby's bachelor party. Didn't talk about Colby's bachelor party because nothing happened. We went up there. What did we do? Played some Go Fish. Sat around in a room. talked about how much we loved our wives and girlfriends, and then we came home. That's it. Nothing else happened. So, that's that. Any last words, VicTube, for the people before I kick you out of the StreamYard?
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to be doing my Friday show tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then Saturday, I will be streaming the conclusion of my UGA Dynasty Season 1. So.
All right, good. People been waiting on that. All right, Vic, we'll see you tomorrow night over on your channel at 6 o'clock, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy. There you go. VicTube every Thursday. I'll be back on tonight at 9 for the college football call-in show. We'll be back here tomorrow morning for another edition of this pointless mess, affectionately referred to as the shoe. And then on Saturday, we will be doing, we'll do some more simulations on the EA Sports college football game. We'll do some more simulations. And over on the Patreon page on Saturday, I will attempt to win my second game of the year. The only win I have is against an FCS team. That's fucking sad. It's embarrassing. I've lost every other game I've played. I lost to Clemson. I lost to Kentucky. And I lost to Alabama. And I beat FCS Southeast. I'm 1-3 in the Dynasty over on Patreon. It's extremely aggravating. I'm playing on All-American, and maybe I need to lower the difficulty level. I don't know. I suck at that game. But it is fun, and I do get irritated, and people get to watch me yell and scream. So that'll be on Patreon on Saturday, the Dynasty stream, and then we'll do the simulations over on YouTube. But appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. Good to be back. Can't wait to see y'all tonight. Slim Shady says, at least when Michigan and Miami cheat, we get in. Oh, yeah. We read that. Yeah, that's true. Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Kentucky, they don't get nothing when they cheat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get nothing when they cheat. All right, everybody. I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock for the call-in show. Enjoy your Thursday, and have a good morning.